All right.
Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. We're so happy to have you here today. We have Hugh Gordon, our association executive, and Lisa May, our government affairs director, and Maureen Nichols, our immediate past president, here to talk to you and answer a couple of questions and answers. Hugh, take it away.
Well, Peter, you had asked the question a few minutes ago about where we're posting information and how we're getting information out to the members and engaging the members. And, I think it's important for everybody to stay out as often as they can, go out to the FCAR webpage at www.fcar.org.
Cool.
It has a lot of the information specific to the COVID situation from NAR, from MR. There are national links in there. Anything that people might find pertinent, they probably can find right on our webpage. We've been putting a lot of that information on our newsletter as well. And if it's really important, we've been putting it on social media to make sure people have the opportunity to see it. Even more importantly than that, we're trying to keep our membership engaged through ongoing classes, and they're not continuing ed. We can't do continuing ed. Maryland doesn't allow us to do continuing ed on Zoom. But classes of interest, things that we think the membership might be
like what?
interested in. We've been providing the links and giving people the opportunity to stay engaged.
What type of classes?
Boy, we've had a little bit of everything. We've had this question and answer. We had we have a class. I don't remember whether we've had it already or whether it's scheduled with Richard Fox. He talks about Richard, what's his last name?
Richard Leonard. Richard Leonard, home inspections, right?
Fox Mountain Properties. They're going to be talking about the inspection process during COVID. And they've really got some interesting things to say. I think their class is next week. And they've got Shelley was telling me yesterday that there's actually a process they have for going into houses and cleaning them. That's really, it's kind of, cutting edge. So I definitely encourage people to watch that. But we've had classes. We had a class with Chris Crummett to talk about, staging a home.
Video tips.
I'm sorry?
Chris was talking about the video tips for all of us that want to shoot our own listings, do the walkthrough tours. That was a really good, 30 minutes well spent.
Excellent. And that's some good testimony. All we want is to make sure that our members are well educated, because it is uncertain times and we want our members to stay sharp. So when we're able to get out there and get back to work, we'll get back to work and keep that professionalism high. Do we have any fundraisers or anything coming up? I know that there might be one in the works. Any further conversation on that?
Marla Johnson and Jan Gallert, and I think one or two others have organized a food drive for Frederick Food Bank. And I don't have all the details about that, but do we have that on our website or on Facebook, Hugh?
I saw a post about it. I don't know that it's been highlighted as much as it should be. I'll talk to Brenda about that.
Okay.
The big one is this Thursday. We have the luncheon with Wayne Six, the one that we couldn't have as a membership luncheon, but Wayne's going to bring the membership up to date with what's going on in the market, and all the proceeds from that are going to SOAR.
Excellent. And what does SOAR stand for?
Oh boy, put me on the spot. It's something to do with supporting older adults, providing them resources.
I think it's great. I think it really highlights the fact that realtors really are there to support our community as well as our members. And that's really what our association is there for. Is there a fee to attend that the luncheon webinar? If it's going to be a monetary fundraiser, what's the cost to attend and how do they register?
Well, they can register right on the website, and we ask
FCAR.org.
We ask that they give a minimum donation of $20. And if they can, if they can afford more, obviously we'd like to raise as much money for SOAR as we can.
All right, and I think that's great. And all the proceeds will just be given directly to that nonprofit to support seniors in our community, correct?
Correct.
I think that's fantastic. And then the food drop that Marla Johnson and Jan Gallert they did, that's another highlight that can really another asset, not asset. Maureen, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's another resource that we can help the community with, because right now seniors need food. Little school children, they need food too, and just basic families, we need food too.
Maureen,
What's available at the state
where's the drop
level?
off for that, Maureen? Did you say
Frederick News Post.
Frederick News Post? Okay.
And we'll make sure to have that all available on our website as well as our Facebook page, because it is that is a food drop that FCAR is supporting. So anything that we talk about here on this webinar will be posted to the Facebook page as well as the website, just as a follow-up. What's available at the state level? Are there any state resources available?
So later this on Friday, there's going to be a legal update on Facebook. So if you go to the Maryland Realtors Facebook page at 1 o'clock, Kathleen Daritz and Rich Green, who is a mortgage lender, will be giving an update. And those are typically recorded, so if you don't make it live, you should be able to still view that. So they've been doing those on, trying to do those on a weekly basis. Obviously things are changing rapidly right now in terms of programs and guidance and everything like that. But that's a good resource. And I believe on our own COVID resource page on FCAR, we link to NAR, and NAR has done an excellent job of updating their guidance, their FAQs on almost a daily basis. So I check that page regularly. If you go to nar.realtor/coronavirus, you can get directly there. And they've done really detailed Q&As for property managers, commercial, residential, brokerages, agents, all sorts of stuff. And most recently, what they're working on right now is updated guidance on the economic impact disaster loans and the Paycheck Protection Program, because I'm sure many of you have heard of the funding issues that we've run into with those. Based on the update that we had from NAR yesterday, more funding will be coming for those. It's an area where both houses of Congress, both parties of Congress agree those programs will be receiving more dollars. We just have to get that across the finish line. And now that those programs have tapped into their first allocation, there will be even more pressure on Congress to get those approved and done quickly.
So NAR has free classes as well. Pricing strategies and the ePro course, I believe, is being offered for free. And also they have the C2EX, which people can work on in their spare time now. And I saw yesterday that FCAR is offering the first-time homebuyer certification course, which isn't that the same as what we offer here in Frederick?
I don't know, but we can certainly find out and promote it to the membership.
Yeah, that would be great, because I know I have one buyer that's been waiting for the class. He was signed up for the April one, or the March one, which was pushed to April. And then of course the April one has been pushed to May now, like the end of May. So if he can take that online course, that will, that puts him one step ahead when the market comes back for buyers to get out there and start looking again.
Right. And Maureen, just to piggyback on something you said, and Peter, this is something you tend to promote all the time. NAR, if you haven't gone out to NAR's website to look at their resource page, members should do that because not only are they offering free classes, but there's a lot of things that they normally charge for that they're not charging for right now. Peter, do you know more information about that?
I do. So and that kind of goes with what Maureen was talking about earlier, our certification and designation classes. Currently, right now, the Pricing Strategy Advisor course, the ePro course, and the Investor course are available for free for all members to take. And those are great opportunities to keep you current. The Pricing Strategy Advisor course is never going to age because it teaches you how to price a property. The ePro course is all about online business interaction and e-commerce, so like all online stuff. And then the Investor course, that's another classic learning module that will never get old, right? We're always going to be working with investors. We're always going to need to know how to work effectively with our buyers and sellers whenever it comes down to pricing strategy, and always staying current on how to interact online. The other thing that the National Association of Realtors, sorry, working from home here, challenges. The other thing that NAR, the National Association of Realtors, has done to support its members is for the next 2 months, they've made it free for all members to have access to telehealth. That's a humongous step in the right direction because we don't want our members leaving the house for any unnecessary reason. And doctor's appointments, obviously they are necessary to go to, but sometimes maybe they aren't. So whenever you have access for free from your association, it's something to look into. So take a look at that. That's on the National Association of Realtors website. Another thing, because it's such uncertain times, NAR is really investing heavily in educating the members on financial wellness. So we're all very confident and hopeful that the market returns stronger than ever whenever the doors open for us to go back to work. But whenever we do go back to work, it'll be nice to be educated on how to keep your finances in order and how to budget your money appropriately for the future in the event that a recession or any sort of negative event could occur. This financial wellness program is available for all members. And then there's a couple other webinars that they have that they would normally charge $30 for, and they're similar to our Informed Professionals courses. Tech trends, that used to be $30 online, and now it's available for free. Just visit the NAR website, and that you can access NAR website through our website at FCAR.org if you need links. But they're fantastic resources available at no cost to the member. So really, we want all of our members to stay sharp, stay engaged, stay educated. So that way, when the time comes for us to get back to work, we're ready to get back and work, and we can really help push the industry and our communities forward.
Lisa, is there things that the membership might want to know that are going on legislatively right now at the state level?
Well, we're all kind of waiting to see what happens with the General Assembly. They obviously had to adjourn much earlier than they had intended, and right around mid-March. So there are a number of bills that they have approved, but that Governor Hogan has not yet signed because he's been dealing day in and day out with pandemic response. At his press conference, goodness, I'm trying to remember what day now. I believe it was the end of last week. He said he would have a very tough time signing any legislation that added new spending or that was considered unnecessary spending. Just because of the budget hit that the state is projected to take with a lack of sales tax revenue, of many of income tax revenue, and with the unemployment claims that we've been seeing in the state. So what that means for certain bills, what that means for the budget, what that means for the Kerwin education plan, we all have to see. And he has said, look, I have until early May to sign these things. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to get the latest information that I have, and then I will make a decision there. So while we're all dealing with more than enough uncertainty right now, that's kind of another area where we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. One area that we're also looking at is, speaking of unemployment, we are still waiting for the state to get their unemployment applications for independent contractors and sole proprietors up and working. As of right now, if you submit an unemployment claim as, you know, a self-employed or an independent contractor, it would be rejected because that's how it has existed up until this point and up until, you know, the stimulus bills extended unemployment benefits to those categories of people. So if you go to the Department of Labor's website, and I can probably put that link here in the chat, there is a way where you can put in your email address and be notified once that unemployment claim application opens up. Even though I'm not making a claim, I have certainly put my email address in there just so that I can be notified and share that information with whoever I need to. And I would certainly encourage our members to do the same. Even if you don't think you're going to make an unemployment claim, it's better to have the most up-to-date information that you can have. I think that's what we all are looking for at this time. It's just to have
and
the best information that we can.
And that's in reference to the mentioned $600 per week unemployment claim that was promised to all independent contractors, correct?
That's correct.
And okay, and it's not available right now because the website functionality doesn't exist on the DLLR's website.
So a lot of it has to do with, you know, the unemployment office was not set up to process these types of claims. So what do you put down as a sole proprietor or an independent contractor? What do you put down as your company name if you don't have an LLC or if you don't,
Gotcha.
you know, there are all of those. I mean, it goes not just to the volume of people who are applying, but it gets down to the little nitty gritty stuff like that would normally kick out an application. And, you know, they're trying to come up with the system from scratch at a time when they are getting overwhelmed with traditional unemployment claims. And I think it's also just worthwhile to consider that up until this virus hit, the unemployment office was probably the least used branch of government.
Right.
We, you know, we had, our economy was trucking along. We had almost full employment. And then just like that, you know, it's really shifted. And then those individuals who work there are trying to deal with social distancing and, you know, kids home from school and all of those things as well. So there's a very human component to all of this as well. So I know that the Maryland Realtors have been working to get some clarity from the Department of Labor as to when that might be up and what type of documentation you all may need as independent contractors to show them your income or your loss of income and those types of things. So people are working very, very hard. I know it's really hard to be patient, but that's what we all have to be to some extent right now.
Fair enough. All right. So the message there is to stay patient. It's in the works, and Maryland Realtors, Frederick County Association of Realtors, and the National Association of Realtors, they all have fantastic staff working on that. Correct?
Yes.
Definitely. What other questions are you hearing from our members, Hugh?
Well, the one thing I wanted to add, Peter, is I think it's important for everybody to understand that even though the office is closed, staff is still working. And any, you know, normal activity that we can assist with, whether it be purchasing something from the store, whether it be a central lock issue, a central lock card issue, we still are working through those issues with our members. Kelly Burley goes into the office every Wednesday. She kind of accumulates the requests for either locks or cards, goes in on Wednesday, has typically scheduled people to come to the front door, and she leaves the items at the front door for them so that they're available. We have regular requests for items from the store. And what we do is get people to pay for things online. If you're looking for something from the store, please go out to the website, www.fcar.org, and there's a link at the top for FCAR Shop, and it's really easy. You just go ahead and pay for it. We get the receipt, and then one of us, we've just been working between us to make sure that we get to the we contact the person, get to the office, and make sure it's outside of the door waiting for them. So we're trying to provide as many of the regular services for our members as we can, even though we're not, physically there at the office, and we hope people take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I would also encourage members, if you're running into something out of the ordinary in your transactions right now, to please let us know, because we can continue to work with, whether it's an elected official at any level of government, we can try to come up with a way to solve that. Another county dealt with an issue where the homeowners association had ceased doing physical inspections. So they could not get their compliance letter that says, yeah, this townhouse is fine architecturally. They didn't do any unapproved things. And those transactions without that letter were coming to a halt. So if it's, something along those lines, FCAR is still here to reach out to those individuals and to try to come up with a solution. So just because the office is physically closed, like Hugh said, please continue to let us know what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and to see if we can come up with some solution.
Yeah, and just so that people know, Peter, they can either get hold of any one of the staff members through our normal email, or if they call into the office, everybody either has their phones redirected to their cell phones, or they provide their cell phone numbers, or in my case, if you leave a message, the message comes directly to my email. So we're responding to people as quickly as we can when the messages are received.
No, I think that's excellent. Any other questions? I know one thing we want to highlight was the Commitment to Excellence program. You want to highlight anything on that?
Well, I certainly would encourage anybody that was either considering it, or if you're selling real estate, having that designation beside your name puts you at the top of the class in terms of your competition with the other realtors. So if you haven't gone online to NAR to check out C2EX, you certainly should. I think it's it's not something that you're going to complete in one day. It takes a while, but it hones a lot of skills. And don't have anything, if you're not actively out in the market selling real estate right now, the best thing you could be doing is improving your skills. Right, Mari?
No, I completely agree. Completely agree. All right, we touched on the free classes available at FCAR and National Association of Realtors. We talked about the community member support that we're all doing as an association, as well as our local community. Talked about C2EX. Anything at the Downtown Partnership or Office of Economic Development or Department of Economic Development, or even the Chamber? Any resources there that FCAR members can reach out and tap into?
Well, Peter, I don't actively go out to their sites, and I do receive a lot of emails from the Chamber, and I also receive a lot of emails from the county about things that they're doing. I would definitely say that if you want to see what those resources are, just if you look up, if you Google the Chamber, Frederick County Chamber,
Gotcha.
Or you Google Frederick County government, all of those links and that information is readily accessible. Should be easy to find. And if they can't, then please reach out to me, and I will help find that whatever it is that you're looking for.
All right, that sounds like a plan. And then we touched on the Department of Labor. They're still in the process of putting together the unemployment opportunities for members. We talked about the designation classes, certification classes available for all members through the National Association of Realtors. Touched on, and we talked about telehealth, a free resource available for all members of the National Association of Realtors, and that includes all Frederick County Association of Realtor members. We talked about financial wellness, talked about the other non-certification designation classes that NAR and FCAR has to offer, such as tech trends, home inspection classes, photography, and the upcoming fundraiser for SOAR. That will be our, in place of our luncheon for next week, right? At a $20 donation, and you'll get to hear the local market trends from our local appraiser, Wayne Six.
And maybe a few good jokes too.
I mean, there might be a couple of jokes. He definitely is a very entertaining presenter. And we also talked about the food drop that FCAR is helping support that was organized by two of our members, Marla Johnson and Jan Gallert. I think my final message is that the staff and the association leadership, we're here working for you, our members, and we really want you all to stay safe. So thank you all for attending. Anything else you might want to include, Hugh or Lisa or Maureen?
Just, Peter, I would say tell people to continue to monitor the website, their email, all the communication sources we have, because nobody at this point knows where this thing's headed, what the length of it's going to be, how things are going to change. But as soon as that information is obtained, we're going to get it out to our membership.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
You
All right.
too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.